I feel like this message is going to be for someone who is feeling an incredible amount of hopelessness at this time. It feels like you were pushed into, like, backed into hopelessness. And nothing seems to be going right. It's not quite like overwhelming grief as much as it is there's sadness to it, but it's more like hopelessness. And I'm recording this on a Sunday, and so like when I came to the table, and I have like a whole routine, you know, I do, and it was just so it's just so it's that feeling of like wanting to crawl back into bed. It reminded me of like Sad Sunday. Like that's what I thought. Sad Sunday. Card 15, Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Like I said, just like wanting to crawl right back into bed. You know, nothing's going right. Everything you try to do, just it's almost like it's overwhelming, or like the burden of it is like it's like you have nothing left to give, and you keep going. You try to make a step forward with something, and then it doesn't work, and then it's like back into your pajamas and back into bed. That's what it feels like. Next card out, card 26, gathering around the power of community. I don't feel like you got here because of you. I feel like the energy feels like it was pushed there, like it was backed into a corner there. And then just all the circumstances around it made it to where it was almost impossible to get out of. And every time you try to get out of it, grace and generosity, benefactor, card 3. And at the bottom of the deck, spirit of the river, movement towards adventure. I don't I don't feel the energy of a person who's particularly negative. I think that this hopeless feeling for you is kind of it's alien to you. You're a pretty positive person. I think maybe for most people this feeling would translate to extreme grief, right? But since you kind of run higher naturally, that this is more like generalized sadness for you. And even that you can kind of work yourself out of, you know, like you have the tools to work yourself out of generalized sadness. But every time you try to do anything to get out of the sadness, it doesn't seem to work. And so it's kind of transmuted into hopelessness. Can we get a little more information? They're dreaming. The matriarch. The guardian. Possession. Wishful. And companions at the bottom. Yeah. It's almost as if with these three cards, like it's almost as if you are calling in like help. And you might not even be doing it like you just need somebody to help. That's what it feels like. Like with the matriarch here, just like and a lot of people don't have like contact with their moms or just, but if you take the general archetype of the mother, right? Just the mother, um, I feel like you just want someone, you just want to call your mom, you know? Just like if you can picture the energy of just wanting your mom, like that's what this feels like. Or somebody else with the guardian here, like anybody to just come and help and protect and like it would be beneficial right now for somebody to come and swoop in and take care of things. Now this card is one that's extremely powerful, but I always forget what it is. I think it's like the Morgan. It's conflict and fate. Yeah, Morgan. It foreshadows war, battle, prophecies fulfilled, and doom. Yeah. Oh my god. Like doom. I'm gonna go ahead and read this to you because it's exactly in line with. All right, so in mythical terms, the Morrigan typically foreshadows war, battle, prophecies fulfilled, and doom. Heavy stuff indeed. When this card shows itself to you, it desires that you realize the inevitability of conflict, coupled with the opportunity for victory. Most people spend a great deal of energy avoiding conflict. Keeping the peace at all costs is a common mantra. Rather than meeting difficult people and situations head on, they'll delay, deflect, and shy away from confrontation. And while this works nicely, if the danger or struggle presents an actual physical threat, in most situations, it's self-defeating. If you don't make war upon your problems, you can never resolve them. If you won't fight for what you believe in, victory can't be yours. It could be that Morgan portends an actual incoming conflict, or just as likely, it speaks to the overall arc of your life. You are fated, as we all are, to endure problems and face battles which must be fought. Over many of these, you can be completely victorious, but only if you're willing to fight. So with possession and wishful and the Morgan here, it's like you want to be able to get out of your pajamas and get out of bed. Like, and I'm saying that as not an actual thing. I'm saying that as an energy. You're we had stagnation here. Your energy is definitely stagnant at this time. I can feel your desire for it not to be this way. Like it's going against your nature, like how you normally are. And that's what's contributing to this hopelessness. And then every time you try, you come up against something else, and it's starting to be incredibly defeating. So, as with anything, when energy, just like sneezing, that's an excellent example, or crying, uncontrollable crying. As with anything, energy will build within the body, and then it has nowhere to go. Like it will explode out in some way. Like it has to have a way to release when it builds up like this. You can do a lot of positive things, which I know you don't want to hear it right now. You know, like I said, getting to the dresser to get clothes for the day, like dragging yourself from one point to another. You don't want to hear how you need to do cardio or go for a walk or spend time in nature. So I'm not going to tell you that. But what this is saying here with the dust devil gathering around a benefactor, like this this energy that you are, and I'm going to use the word desperate because it feels desperate right now. That energy, that help that you're looking for, that energy that you need is going to be found outside of where you currently are. So you have to move out of the stagnation. So with the dust devil and gathering around the power of community, getting out there, that's where you're going to find that help with the benefactor. That's where you're going to generate that grace. And grace is the energy, the life force energy. Like that is grace. You know how they say everything is energy? It is. To me, everything is grace. That energy is called grace. Okay, so let's get some advice. How can we assist, or what are the energies currently assisting the viewer at this time? I want to cry right now. Like this is such a hopeless feeling. All right, we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, like I said, the what you're looking for is outside of where you are right now. It's outside. And I mean that physically, in a physical sense. You know, best YouTube tarot readers, what do they always say? Can't make this shit up. Six of Swords. It is outside of where you are right now. You have to leave where you are right now in order for it to ease. And then the star, and there it is. That's what you need. You just got to get in the boat. I don't feel like this is. I feel like you're alone. Like I don't feel like this is a person in a relationship that needs to get out of their relationship. I don't feel like this is I don't even feel like you have a job right now. You know what I mean? And if you do, it's not one that it was like a just a desperate way to provide funds, for the moment. You have the star here as the closing of this energy, and the incoming energy is spirit of the river with movement towards adventure, and then the incoming energy here is companions. So it seems to me like just taking control. It just feels like you are to a point where you're literally like physically unable, like you can't even find the energy to pull yourself together. All right, let's get a first step, because all you have to do is just take the first step. It's almost like it's just a state of confusion. I feel like this is I so much enjoy, yeah, Knight of Swords. Like you just have to take the first step. I so much enjoy stepping into energetic spaces, you know. It's the way that I serve others. Okay. What can the viewer do? What is the first step? What is the first step? All right, card 22, blessed. All right, this actually requires zero physical effort. Okay, so sit up. All right, sit up, relax your body, breathe. Just breathe and know how blessed you are. You don't need examples, just existing is enough. Just sit and be and know how blessed you are. And when your mind starts to talk, because it will, just quiet it, breathe, and know how blessed you are. I am blessed. I am loved. And for that, I am grateful. And every time your mind kicks in and starts to talk, do it again. And do it again. And don't move from that spot until you're able to repeat it without the egoic mind coming in and chattering and trying to tell you different. Just sit and breathe. I am blessed. Breathe. I am loved. Breathe. And for that, I am grateful. And every time you breathe, you bring in grace, prana, energy, life force energy, connection to yourself, your higher self, connection to the divine. Breathe. I am blessed. Breathe. I am loved. Breathe. And for that, I am grateful. And you don't have to get up. You don't have to. But sit up. Sit up. And be blessed. You are unconditionally loved and supported by the universe. Unconditionally. Everything that happens for you, through you, and was designed by you. So even in moments of hopelessness like this, you designed it, you co-signed on it, and you will come out the other side in a much, much better place, having gone through the experience. Much, much better place, having gone through the experience. My unconditional love to you. I can feel the energy start to dissipate. Do what you're guided to do. I am blessed. I am loved. For that, I am grateful. And stay in that position. Keep doing it until you are ready to move from where you are towards your community that holds the people that you need. The people, places, the things, the whatever that you need right now so that you do not feel hopeless. That's your first step. I trust that this message will get to its intended recipient. And until next time, take care of yourself.